Hi, my name is Tobias Otiwa, and you're watching Konekt, and this is my brief story about my life. Toby is just a normal guy. I was born in Kericho, and then I went to school in Kericho. There's a school there in Kericho called Kapsongoi. From there, I went to high school in Homa Bay High School, and then I cleared my school in 2007. Went to college. I didn't go to university. I just went to college. Did my CPA. Finished in 2012, and then from there, I worked at Veg Pro Kenya Limited for 2 years. Went back and worked with Asili Sacco for quite some time, like 1 year. From there is when I processed my visa, and then I'm here. Found myself in Australia. To be sincere, it wasn't my intention to be an accountant. I didn't have the passion when I was young. I love to play. I used to play soccer too much, and running, and basically I used to love sports. But when I was in high school, I came across a CPA book, and I fell in love with accounting. Is when I started pursuing accounting. So it's something that it's deep in me, and I love it so much.
And with this accounting, is it the ones that informed your journey to Australia, or how did now that journey begin, or even how did you even know or even think about Australia?
Yeah, that's a good question. For me to come to Australia, it's through my mom and Betty, because at that time in 2010, Betty was processing to come in Australia. So my mom was working in a place where Betty used to come to that office all the time. So they started talking and became friends. And then when Betty came here later on, they started communicating slowly and slowly. And Betty is the one who encouraged us to process our visa to Australia.
And now with that journey, now let's start now. Maybe you've gotten the visa, and now you're on your way to Australia. What did you come to do in Australia?
I came to study accounting at University of Wollongong. So that was my main intention, is to come and do degree and maybe a master's. So yeah, that's my main thing, was to come and study in Australia to do accounting.
So after you got here and life started, you went to uni. Did you even start classes, or before now we go to the main story of the day? Did you start classes, and how was that life now when you just got here in Australia?
Yeah, when I came here, it was a bit challenging because it was different from back at home. Because back at home, I used to just work and live a normal life. But when I came here, it involved working and studying at the same time, and studying full time. So yeah, it was a bit challenging, but we managed up to now. I attended class. I used to live in Liverpool, and my school was in Wollongong. So I used to take train, like 2 hours train, to attend classes, and sometimes be late. It's usually hectic to go to class and come back. But I managed until this moment.
Amazing. And what was driving you then, just to go to school, go on the train, do whatever you need to do? What was motivating you at that time?
Basically, my passion for accounting was the one motivating me, because I really needed to be an accountant. And I used to get inspired when I see people like Betty, who came here and already succeeded, and they're working, and you also see yourself being in the same shoes. So it kept me going and working hard all the time. And eventually, up to now, I still have the dream of finishing my school and attaining my degree.
What challenge did you meet while now you're actually studying and continuing with your studies, and how did that impact your life, and how did that change your life at that time?
Yeah, it happened it was in late 2020, around November there. So it was just a normal day on a Sunday morning, and I woke up early around in the morning. I was just okay at that time. Then I went back to sleep. That day it was a lazy Sunday. I didn't want to do anything. I just needed to rest all the day because I had a busy weekend, a busy week. So I was just at home, relaxing, sleeping in the bed. I woke up around 12 o'clock. My eyesight was still okay. And then went back to bed, didn't drink water or anything. So when I wake up around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I did my laundry. Then again, I went back to bed. Around something like 7 o'clock, I woke up at 7 o'clock. And I couldn't see anything. I was like, what is happening with me? I called my brother. He was in the sitting room. Asked him if there was lights around. He told me everything is okay. But I couldn't see at that time. So it's when I realized that I've just lost my sight at that amount. So I didn't know what to do. I just told him to call the ambulance, and then we started the journey up to now. At that time when the ambulance came, they didn't know what exactly has happened. So they just took my blood pressure, which was very high. It was around 200 or so, over, maybe 150, I don't know. But it was really high. So they checked everything, and then they decided to take me to Liverpool Hospital. So I was rushed to the hospital, and then that night I was just admitted up to. So we didn't know whatever was happening. Even the doctors came, they checked my eyesight, but they didn't do anything until the next day. Is when now they started the process of doing the blood test and everything to know what was going on.
And after the test and everything, did they give you maybe say we will? Did they give you any corrective measures? Did they say is it gonna be fixed? Is it gonna be changed? Or what was the predicament at that time?
Yeah, when they did the blood test, it took them a long time because I stayed in the hospital for almost a month. They were doing all the necessary tests to know what was going on. And they came with the conclusion that my blood pressure it's something that it has been for a very long time, but it wasn't attended for. So it was the main cause of my loss of eyesight. So they told me that for the moment I'm going to be taking only the pressure medicines to control the pressure for meanwhile, and then I'll be going for checkup every now and then. So they'll let me know what is going on later on.
And with such a a huge change to your life, how did that now change your life and your day to day? So what are the changes that you now started experiencing to your day to day life?
Basically, where I can start with is I can say that when somebody is okay, you don't know, you normally take so many things for granted. Maybe when you have your thumb, you think that everything is okay. Until you lose that thing is when you know that it is a limitation to you now. For example, me, I used to work all the time. I used to study, I used to read and do everything by my own. But now it has become a limitation to me because I can't read. I can't walk around by myself. But at home, I'm trying to figure out everything by myself. I can cook. But it's still a very hard thing because there's some things I cannot do by myself. I have to be helped. So it has become a very big limitation to me in terms of like being totally 100% independent. It has been a limitation for so many ways. Like now, I can't go somewhere by myself. I have to depend on someone.
And how at that time, I'm just wondering now, and I want us to and our viewers to understand how was your state of mind at that time?
Uh, I was a bit sober, and I had peace in me. I don't know where the peace came from, but I encouraged myself in the Lord, knowing that there's nothing impossible when you trust in God. So, yes, it was a big thing at that time, but with the time, I have peace. I can say I have peace. It's not something that troubles me so much, and I always don't focus on that 100%. I usually just believe that I can do something more than what I think, what my mind thinks. I don't want to focus on the limitation. As much as it's a hindrance, but I'm still positive and I'm still hopeful that everything will be okay.
And now with this condition and life now as is now, what are the new things now you have to learn, or maybe for school, is it braille, or what are the new things now that you never thought you'd actually start learning, but now you have to actually learn? What are the new lessons now you have to do with your life now?
Probably I'll say, well, with school, I haven't actually gone back to school yet. I'm still figuring out how to go back, because they told me, actually the uni, I contacted them and they say that I can use sound, so I have to improve on my listening. That's the main thing that I have to do, because they haven't talked about brailles. Maybe in future I'll do brailles, I'm not sure about that, but I talked to even Vision Australia, where they consider people with vision issues. They told me that with the sound, you can do so much with sound, because there's so many softwares nowadays that you can use apart from brailles. So even the school sent me some softwares to use about when you want to study. So basically you can speak to that software and it writes what you want. So those are the things that I have to adjust to.
And with these now new mechanisms and learning that you have to now get used to,
Yeah.
are you looking to still achieve your dream to become an accountant?
100%. I have to achieve my dreams. There's no limitation. It's as long as I'm still breathing, I know there's always a way. There's a way somewhere. And it's only your mentality. When you change your mentality and you focus on what you have than what you don't have. Yeah. So currently, I believe that I'm going to finish my uni. I'm going to work. I'm going to do everything as normal.
What are some of the needs now that have come up? Maybe specialized treatment, and how are you going about maybe meeting such costs? Because I understand that it comes with actually a very huge cost. So what are maybe some of the costs that actually come with the condition and life as is now?
I want to say thank you so much to the Australian Medicare, because initially we used to go for appointments with we used to pay, and I used to have like 4 appointments. I used to have the eye clinic, I used to have the heart clinic, and I used to have the renal, which is the kidney too. So it used to cost a lot of money, like 250 per session, 150 per session. So, and it was only my brother who used to cough that money, because I wasn't working at that time. And then Medicare came into play. They gave me the card, which was a temporary one. And it helped so much, because the GP visiting, you don't pay for that, and other things. So it helps so much.
And then just to ask, maybe where do you see yourself maybe in the next 5 years?
I see myself working and living a normal life. I can add married in the same at the same time, and let's say enjoying my life.
I know even the people in the room today and everyone watching, I'm sure they would be wondering what really keeps Toby so high spirited, because you're such a high spirited man. You're very calm and very highly spirited. Maybe there's something that you can share with the audience out there, because there's something that that maybe someone doesn't know who's going through a tough situation. What really keeps you going, Toby?
Yeah. In line to that, I can say that I wasn't this way before. I was really somebody who was anxious and worried about so many things. And actually, stress is the one which has brought me to this point. But when this event occurred, I decided to go back to factory setting, which is seek the Lord. And I found Christ. And I've been reading my Bible, which is the main thing that is giving me peace. And I'm also always positive in what I think about. I don't like negative energy around me. I just know that my faith, I put it in God. So anything that my Bible tells me, I believe it. So that is what is keeping me going. And I can also say that the family that I have, my brothers and the friends around me, they have been so much inspiring and helpful to me. They've been helping me, keeping me busy all the time, that I even sometimes I forget that I can't see. I forget about that. I just associate with them as a normal person. We laugh, we talk, we cook, we eat, and have fun.
Wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. How can people help? If someone out there wants to reach out, if someone out there wants to help, how can they help? And maybe to alienate the costs maybe involved for these eye checks, or bring you back to speed, bring you back to your feet, at least go to study, finish your studies. How can people help, Toby?
I can't give any specific answer for that. That is up to someone how he feels like helping. That is up to him, okay? But my main purpose of doing this interview and talking to you, Pete, is basically to encourage someone outside there who is going through a tough time to know that all is not lost there, and have hope in God. At the same time, I just need to encourage someone and to create awareness that as much as when you go to a foreign country anywhere, be mindful about your health. As much as you study and you work and you do all that thing, they always like in Australia here we have insurance, the health insurance that which is compulsory. Use that thing, use it. Go to the GP. It's normally free. Know about your health, because that's the main thing about life. Your health is your wealth. If you don't take care of that, you're going astray. Because look at me. I used to work hard and do all those things. But now, without my health, I can't get anything. I can't do anything for now. So I need to encourage anyone there. Make sure you you work on your health, do exercise, and I think everything will be okay.
Amazing. That's quite an amazing advice to all people out there. It's good to take care of your health.
Yeah.
Go for those checks, blood checks. Use up the insurance, man. Use it up. Use it up. It's you're actually paying money that you never use. So just go to the GP. Just say, I want to check my blood pressure. I want to check my bloods. I want to check everything in my body, so that at least you know if something is coming up. You've touched on a very good statement there. You said take care of yourself. So how do you, Toby, now take care of your mental health? Because that is a big thing. That it's actually a big thing now. People are actually crashing and doing all sort of things because of their not looking after their mental health. So do you have any tips that you can leave our viewers tonight with, just to take care of their mental health?
Basically, is exercise. Do your exercise. Anything that you can do to control your health very well. Because and I do study so much. I do listen to books. You watch videos that will help you grow. Avoid negative energy, because there's a lot of negative energy around. So those are the things that you avoid, and be focused, and everything I think will be okay.
Amazing. Thanks, Toby. Do you have any final remarks, anything that I might have not touched, maybe an advice, something that is burning that you need to share with our audience tonight? This is your floor. This is your time. Feel free, take your time.
Basically, what I can say, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been there in my life, who has supported me up to this point, all the friends who have supported me. And I also want to say that if I give you a call, if we call you, sometimes if I call you, necessarily it's not about finance. Sometimes I just need somebody to talk to just communicate and feel like a normal person. I don't know what else to say, but I want to be grateful so much for everything that everyone has done for me. My family members, my friends, really happy for them.
Hi, my name is Alan Otiwa. I'm the younger brother to Toby, and actually Toby has been one of my best friend, I would say, and so unfortunately for him, he lost his vision before he could complete his studies. For us, it was actually a breakdown to our family. But now I saw him through all this process. At the moment, I saw him at his lowest moment. But through, I'll say, through the grace of God and everything, he is able to bounce back. He's more hopeful, there's more faith in him. And all I just want to wish for him is all the best and able to see him achieve his dreams of becoming an accountant, for which he always dreamed to be an accountant in the future.
My name is Betty Langat. I have known Tobby for actually over 10 years. I first knew Tobby through the mom. And how I even came to meet Tobby was because Tobby's mom was my support system while I was doing my overseas journey. And I remember her making me a cup of tea and telling me encouraging words that I've never forgotten while I was facing a certain boardroom. So that is where the dream of Tobby was birthed. And around 7 years after that, it became a reality, and I welcomed Tobby to Australia. And so before Tobby coming to Australia, he used to work in Mara. He also worked in Nairobi in some few account companies and, trying to build his career. And he arrived in Australia, went to Wollongong. I didn't actually take him. He's a go-getter. He's adventurous and he's very courageous. And I just gave him instructions because he came at the time when my calendar at work couldn't allow me to take him for orientation. So I just welcomed him, picked him from the airport, and tomorrow I gave him the itinerary and I just followed him basically on the phone. And he went all the way to Wollongong University, arriving, taking himself to orientation, and came back home safely. So in the evening, we had this big story, and he was so excited and looking forward to this new life that has just that was actually happening. And he proceeded on well, of course, got a job, started hustling and working, studying. He's been progressing well with his education. He really, very ambitious, has managed to go through his uni. He's almost done. He just have some, I think 3 units before he can finish, which is basically the last semester. When this happened, and it was shocking and, of course, heartbreaking, call it everything that you could imagine. I think at some point I was more stressed than him. But Tobby is this unique person. You call him and he's in the hospital and he's going through medication procedures, a lot of medical tests. And he's so hopeful and full of hope, full of encouragements. And even up to today, when I'm bored and when I feel like everything is just about to let go, or when I'm feeling low, you call Tobby and you have this conversation of, Tobby, you happy? And Tobby will be like, I'm at the beach. And what's happening? And it's like the waves are high, the waves are low. And we'll just have a conversation like nothing is happened, like really. And there's one thing that really encouraged me. One time when this happened and Tobby was discharged home, and he was like, Betty, to be honest, I am not blind. This is the time when I can see. When I could see, I was blind because I didn't understand many things, or I didn't see the perspective that I see things now. So that was a life-changing comment for me. And I started questioning myself as well, like, oh, what is it that I don't see with my eyes? And I'm sure very many things that I don't. But Tobby has been such an encouraging person in that sense. And he's gone through a lot of medical procedures. Tobby undergoes treatment with New South Wales Health, who have been very supportive. He has had he's being managed, or he's under the neurology team. He's managing doctors, and he also sees specialists, the kidney specialist, who is the nephrologist, and he sees the ophthalmologist as well. So in terms of the financials and the medical care, it's been quite intense. And Tobby was not initially covered by Medicare until when we put in his visa, which we are still waiting for the outcome. But those appointments are costly, and they go up to $300, and then the lab test and all these. We've had well-wishers that have come forth and taken that cost, and then we got the Medicare, and we are still awaiting the renewal of the next phase of that. So it's quite an expensive journey for Toby. And more than that, like his movement around the house, we contacted Vision Australia, who came in and did a few adjustments, but most of the things are limited because of Toby's situation. He doesn't have permanent residence, so definitely there is no funding for him, and I can say it's just been through well-wishers and I want to acknowledge his brothers who have really done tremendous job. His friends, there is close-knit friends, the people who went to see him at the hospital, there are people that cook, there are people that came into the house, and those that I don't even know. But every time when I call, Toby is always smiling to show that the community has really been supporting him. So going forward, what we expect for Toby and what I would like to see, having known him from back in Kenya, really, and knowing his family, is Toby always tells me, Betty, I'll be your accountant. And sometimes he's like, oh, Betty, I'll manage your millions. And I'm like, yes, my accountant, come on, go finish uni. So we normally have these kind of, we normally have these conversations. And one thing is, Toby is hopeful to accomplish his bachelor's degree in financial accounting, of which Wollongong University have been very supportive, but we've just been hindered by few logistics in terms of they wanted to give us a software, but we need someone to be home, to be with Toby, to help him to execute that, to take him to school, to Wollongong University, of which Toby lives in Liverpool. So you can imagine all that travel, coming back. He needs that support. While his two brothers have to go to work, and also they are full-time studying. So the logistics haven't really worked for us. However, Toby has been resilient in all this. And we are still hopeful that once we get the Australian papers, he will be able to finish his degree. And he always tells me, oh, I'll drive my Mercedes. And I can't wait to see my firstborn. And, like all these, they're just so encouraging because, sometimes I'm here thinking, oh, maybe this won't happen, this won't happen. And look at someone who has been diagnosed with blindness, and he is still hopeful to lay his eyes on his firstborn, and that just blows my mind. So in this journey, I know that these miracles are going to happen, and we hold the faith for Toby, and we can't wait to see him go to the next phase. But even in where he is, he's been the most resilient, he's the most encouraging person, and I can't finish a week without having like a 1-hour chat with Toby. So God bless you, Toby, and wishing you all the very best. And we are still in this journey together.
Thank you so much for watching Konekt, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing.
Amazing. Thanks, Toby.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Toby, and
Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Hakuna kitu hiyo.